Nous sommes tous nés d'amour dans de vieux pays où seuls de vieux, de très vieux singes sont assis aux commandes de nos libertés.
Today we are going to make glace de viande, which is a fancy French name for hyper-concentrated beef bouillon cubes. This is a recipe that I got from Jacques Pepin in his cookbook, and he was a longtime friend of Julia Child's. There's several ways to make this, but this one's easy. This is the recipe from him that I learned to make, and I make it all the time. So what we're starting out with is about 2 pounds of soup bones, meaty ones if you can get them, into a roasting pan that I've sprayed with a little non-stick coating. Then it's going into a 375 degree preheated oven. Once they've cooked like this for about an hour, we're going to take about an onion and a half, chopped up skin and all, and we want to turn it and get all parts oiled down, and we're going to continue to bake them. Is get all the onions covered in the beef grease, and we're going to put them back in the oven and roast them. This is what they look and sound like when they're ready. Now all this really nice dark and charred stuff is going to add great flavor to the broth that we're now going to make. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's ready. It's been at this low simmer for 6 hours, a little over 6 hours, and you notice the bubbles really are not breaking the surface, and it's reduced and it's really concentrated and smelling good. Now we're going to strain out the large pieces in a colander. Now in the sink with a colander and a pot and a baker's cloth, we're going to further strain the broth that I've stocked, that I've taken the solids out. And the reason for that is because what we want is an absolutely clear stock with no bits of meat or protein or onion or anything in it, because the end result is going to be a perfectly clear, absolutely rich, hyper concentrated stock. Alright, spend the night in the fridge, and so you can see how the fat has coagulated on top. Now we're just going to skim it, and what's left is a fat-free, perfectly clear beef stock, no salt, no pepper, that we're going to reduce down. Alright, here we are at the finish line. We've got all that good juiciness reduced down to that one little stock pot. And you can see how it's, the consistency of melted molasses, and it is definitely wonderful beefy smelling. So we're going to turn the heat off, and now we're going to put it in the pan. Now this is what we do. We just pour that beautiful stuff into a Pyrex dish. See how it's coating everything? Coated at the bottom. You got to keep stirring it towards the end so it doesn't stick and burn. And let it cool. And I got it on a wire rack. And you see it's not that thick, but it's going to be perfect. So here we have the glace de viande after an hour resting on the stovetop and 1 hour in the fridge. I'm going to demonstrate to you that it's like a eraser, a rubber eraser, and you can slice it very nicely like so. And let's get a piece out. And you can see how it is very nicely shaped. It's rubbery. It's extremely clear. There's nothing, no solids in it. And it is black and shiny. And this is wonderful. This is a flavor bomb. And you can just set it down there on a piece of saran wrap like I've done. And I just wrap them like this. And then I pile them in the Ziploc bag and I put them in the freezer. And you can pull them out one by one because they stay independent. And you add them to your soup, to your stew, to your gravy. One of these in a gravy for 4 people will add immensely to the flavor. If you're making a big stew, you know, add 2 pieces. And you see, some of the pieces are bigger. It doesn't matter. This is wonderful stuff. This is magic. This is French magic. This is the kind of stuff that Escoffier made and Jacques Pepin learned. You can see how glossy. This is really pretty. And it's rubbery. It's nice. It's good stuff. These are what I call flavor bombs. So now you know how to make flavor bombs. I hope you do that. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for joining me at the Hacienda Rivet. Hope you enjoy my cooking once again. And maybe some of my tips and techniques will help you out. Thanks a lot. Bye.